Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you. We welcome you to the Bismarck Civic Center in beautiful Bismarck, North Dakota. Well, fans, we have a big night of action coming your way, and it's all brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Corona Beer. At this time, we present one of our featured events of the evening, the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, President Jose Suleiman, Supervisor Mario LaTraverse, along with the North Dakota State Athletic Commission. The Deputy Athletic Commissioner is Mary Feist. Introducing to you the judges appointed at ringside: Tommy Kazmarek, Rudy Ortega, and Terry Smith. Introducing the referee in charge of this bout, he'll be giving instructions after the introductions. Working in this is 81st World Title bout, Marty Denkin. All right, fans, here we go with the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Presenting to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing red trunks with white trim, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, by way of Kingston, Jamaica. He weighed in at 174.5 pounds. His record includes 46 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 35 big wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the former WBA junior middleweight and middleweight champion and current WBC interim light heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Mike, the Body Snatcher McCallum. And his opponent across the ring. On my right is the defending champion, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the ring wearing purple trunks and joining us all the way from Sydney, Australia. His weight, an even 174 pounds. His record is an outstanding one at 23 wins, only 1 loss, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making his 3rd defense of his title. Welcome the current and defending WBC Light Heavyweight Champion of the World, introducing Jeff Hardy. Once again, here's your referee in charge. Now to give instructions, Marty Denkin.
Okay, Jeff, Mike, I explained what your responsibilities are. I told you what my responsibilities are. So let's all go do a job. Shake hands now.
Final instructions from referee Marty Denkin. The Body Snatcher and Jeff Harding. We asked Harding yesterday why he's been so inactive, 19 months without a fight. Blamed it on a combination of problems like surgery for cuts over the left eye in February of '93, bad dealings, logistical problems being in Australia, bureaucratic problems. Told us he actually had his bags packed for 4 fights that fell through at the last minute. As we begin this fight scheduled for 12 rounds for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship here in Bismarck, North Dakota. Mike McCallum told us yesterday he's not taking Harding lightly. He trained very hard for this particular fight, but we asked him for his thoughts on the possible effects of Harding's long absence. He felt that Harding's timing might be off. His body could be soft, but he emphasized he realizes that Harding's got a big heart.
He does, and but one of the things you have to look at, he cuts, and he had plastic surgery over the left eye so that it would repair that cut. Whether that stays healed or not, we don't know, but he has a great reputation for cutting, so let's see what plastic surgery did. In the meantime, this is starting off very slow, little cat and mouse stuff here.
Harding was also hurt not only by the cuts, by what manager Paul Hutz calls the publicity machine that rallied behind Jeff Fenech, another Australian fighter. Harding called the unknown champion. He's the only Australian champ since 1989, but it's been a tough road. He told us that during his dry spell, when he was inactive, he was on the verge of going out and actually getting a real job for him. Can you imagine?
He spoke of that with real horror in his voice. A job, imagine that.
But he said the biggest effect of the lengthy layoff, my bank book is screaming. Bottom line.
And the bottom line here is the body snatchers only landed 2 body blows, one very low. Dinkins saw it and said, keep it up.
McCallum said he's not going in looking for the knockout. He'll take his time, but if the opportunity presents itself, he'll go for it. This is one of those fights, Bernie, that has the potential to be a war for 4 or 5 rounds, and later by the 8th or 9th, what you like to call the money rounds, when a fighter like McCallum really goes to work. He's going to work right here, though.
He's going to work right now. He just dropped the invitation down there. This is going to be more of this all during the fight. It's what McCallum does best. Punch to the body. He's patient. He's hard punching and driving when he goes to the body because he knows that'll pay off.
Harding told us he's got great respect and admiration for Mike McCallum, but added it's my time, not his. How does Harding plan to circumvent or somehow neutralize McCallum's relentless body shots? He replied, hey, I've got my share of body shots to dish out too.
But he hadn't even thrown one. He's got his gloves up by his face so he doesn't get jabbed. Even so, his face is getting red. I didn't see that many jabs going in yet. And I think he's very aware of that cut potential of his brows. Gloves very high up, and he's done no body punching. Just as I say that, he threw 5 body punches.
Of course. Final seconds, round 1. A good finish to the round for McCallum.
Very good round for Mike McCallum.
Keep sticking, and keep moving side to side.
Right.
Don't get into a fight with him right now.
Yeah.
Keep using that jab, those combinations.
Yeah.
Once in a while, a 3-punch combination and get on out of there.
All right.
Okay. Nice and loose. Relax.
Let's see why they call this man the body snatcher. Mike McCallum has made his reputation on heavy and hard body punching. Let's take a look at it and see if we can see some of it here. There goes one good shot. After he pummels ahead, one good shot. And now at the very end of the round, we see just as Harding starts to get a little brave, back comes McCallum with everything working for him. You heard the voice of Eddie Futch, the venerable and highly respected, the greatest authority in boxing now just about, say very calmly, just keep that combination going side to side, punch 2 or 3 times, avoid getting into a fight with him.
The octogenarian, the classy Eddie Futch in the corner of Mike McCallum. Years of valuable experience in the corner of McCallum. Nice combination by Mike McCallum. People often talk of McCallum's age, but this division famous for its champions of advanced years. Bob Fitzsimmons, the inventor of the solar plexus punch, was 40 when he won the title. Dick Tiger, 37. The great Archie Moore won it at 39 and held it for over 9 years. So Mike McCallum could be in some very fast company soon, if he plays his cards right.
Well, he's one of these guys we call the Warriors. Azuma Nelson was one. He's another. Year in, year out, he's here patiently doing what he has to do. Won championships, and now he's back to get another one. Let's see if he can do it.
McCallum very much like the great warrior Azuma Nelson and vintage Julio Cesar Chavez, and then he likes to accumulate punches and go in for the finish. Middle, later rounds.
He's a very intelligent fighter. Very intelligent. He knows where to place the punches. He knows not to get into shootouts.
He's steady. He's quality. You won't get flash from McCallum. Great experience. Excellent ring technician. His trademark, of course, the resounding body shots. Thus the nickname, the body snatcher.
Well, you see what's happening with Harding is if he doesn't launch a big attack, as he said he was, to shake off that ring rust and see he's there, he's getting picked apart. And that's not helping his confidence any. He's got to come on. And what he's well known for is to be just, he's a bush fighter, man. He's an Australian. He comes in there fighting with everything he's got. And he hasn't done that yet. He's been very quietly absorbing punishment. That's not good for him. And it could be the product of this long layout. His reflexes aren't there. He's waiting for everything to start popping in and clicking.
I don't think there's any question about that. He's basically a straight-up, straight-ahead fighter, Jeff Harding. Always the type to take 2 punches to give 1. Layoff or no layoff, that is his style. Willing to trade. He's a counter puncher. He does have a disruptive jab. We just saw the jab. One of his chief weapons I might add, which sometimes sets up a nice overhand right. He has a good uppercut. He's a busy action fighter. And probably his best possession is his heart, and he has a good chin. Now he says he's got heart and smarts.
Well, that's what all old fighters say as they get old, because something substitutes for youth, and that's usually experience and smarts. But you're talking about a smart man in Mike McCallum. He doesn't get hit with many jabs. You've watched the number of jabs that miss or are blocked by McCallum.
McCallum had a spare tire around his midsection his last fight against Randall Yocker. Looks to be in a little better shape. There's a terrific right hand. Out goes the mouthpiece of Jeff Harding. McCallum with a heavy right, and the mouthpiece went flying out of Harding's mouth.
Well, he's taking some punishment as Harding. He's trying to come back gamely, but he's taking some kind of beating.
Okay. Remember all the hard work, right? That's what it's going to take. Okay?
I understand. Come on, baby.
Come on. You got it.
Great round, Jeff.
Okay. Remember the 400s, okay? You've got to dig deep this one. Okay? Double your jab up. If he's hitting you with left hands, you've got to get that defense.
Here comes the water, Jeff.
If you're getting hit with left hands, it's no good, okay?
Let's watch the way that McCallum uses his right hand. It's a thing of beauty. Look, whack, right on there, right on the target. He just doesn't let anybody jab him without making him pay with the right. And here we see how the mouthpiece flew out. He was getting pummeled pretty good. It's amazing that at this earliest stage, Harding is still breathing hard. It's only second round. He's only starting. I mean, that's that layoff. Man, he's got to get himself back in second win. He's got to get started.
And round 3 scheduled for 12 for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship.
And by the way, that replay showed it was McCallum, I think, that lost mouthpiece and not Harding.
Which didn't make much difference.
You know, he was doing the beating, so he's entitled.
So let's see if Harding can pick up the pace here in round 3, showing effects early of that 19-month layoff. Probing jab by Mike McCallum. A little bit of a low blow. Marty Dakin, the third man of the ring, who refused to be Mike. Clawing right by Jeff Harding, doing no damage whatsoever to McCallum, who comes back with the jab.
Look at the quality of the punches. Harding is throwing sort of pillow punches, not really hard, like he's not quite sure he's going to get there. And there's zipping and zing to the punches of Mike McCallum, who's sure of what he's doing.
A minute into round 3.
Jeff Harding wants to get this started. He wants to get this into a brawl. Mike McCallum doesn't oblige. Good defense and then a good counterpunch and patience. A lot of patience from Mike McCallum. Good body shot. Another 2 good body shots by Jeff Harding.
Jeff Harding, 23-1 with 17 knockouts. His only defeat, his second of 3 fights with Dennis Andres, KO by 7 in 1990 in Melbourne, Australia. He won the title from Andres as a last-minute replacement for Donnie Lalonde. Another nice right hand by Mike McCallum. Uppercuts to the midsection. A little low there by McCallum, but now he comes back upstairs to the head.
Marty Dinkins only warned him once in the first round and has not said anything since. Mike McCallum going in with his head, that's a little dangerous. And the danger is for Jeff Harding, who cuts up.
McCallum's punches a lot more crisp than Jeff Harding to this point. McCallum likes to jab to the midsection, does it almost casually, but effectively. He is calm yet busy, but he shows no mercy.
And he goes from side to side, as Eddie Futch, Papa Smurf said, go side to side and get out of there when the punching starts. He's been able to do that.
Harding trying to come back with uppercuts, but having no effect as McCallum just spins him around and comes back with uppercuts to the chin.
Oh boy, that is a thing of beauty. That little series was a thing of beauty for Mike McCallum. It shows you what a terrific high caliber of fighter is Mike McCallum. But here is Jeff Harding. He's still there, frustrated, trying to get in the shootout, but not being able.
McCallum at 37, going for his 3rd World Championship belt. Final seconds, round 3.
inside, stay inside, all right? Stay inside. You drop your hand down, you got your uppercut, okay? Put it up there, cover the eye. You won't touch you with anything, all right? You can't stay there.
Here comes the water, Jeff.
Put some water on. Put some water on his head.
Put some on his head.
You all right? Get this jab working a bit over to him. Get up, walk up with it. Okay, where's the body?
Okay, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see the frustration in Harding as he's trying to get an offense going. That's the best of the entire round that he did. He really hit arms and gloves and misses all over the place. And here's the head of McCallum right into his body. That'll come up and cut him in due time. And here's that splendid little rally. 2 nice uppercuts. A hook, another uppercut. I mean, the variety of punches of Mike McCallum throws him from all angles. Can't get away from him. Jeff Harding is frustrated.
And as you mentioned, Harding with that history of cut problems, the heads are really coming together. In Harding's second fight with Andre Zinati, he had to be postponed a month because of cuts. A fight that Harding eventually lost. The cut over his eye in training forced him to bow out of the fight with Randall Yonker this past March. McCallum filled in and stopped Yonker in the 5th round. Left hand, crisply done by Mike McCallum.
What an educated left hand that is on Mike McCallum. When he wants to jab, he does everything off of jab, hook, throws to the body off of a jab. He does everything.
You would think that Harding, despite the long layoff of nearly 2 years, wouldn't mind getting McCallum into the later rounds because of McCallum's age, but that doesn't work too well either, because McCallum is ready and able to go the distance despite his advancing years. 5 of his last 6, 7 of his last 9 fights have gone the distance.
That's 2 warnings. This crowd's not going to like it if you take it away from him, but he has warned him twice, and he's hit him low about 7 times.
This crowd clearly behind the body snatcher, the challenger, but the 4-1 favorite, Mike McCallum.
Nice little rally by Jeff Harding.
McCallum does it so beautifully too, Freddie, defensively, and he makes his opponent open himself up just like that.
The way he blocks it with his glove is it's a classic. It's just almost intuitive. He doesn't even think about it. He's blocking it and firing off his own punch at the same time.
There's another low.
Another 2 low blows.
And now Marty Dankin has to go in. He may take one away.
Big problem.
1 point is deducted from Mike McCallum's score.
And that may be the only way that Jeff Harding can get a point here.
McCallum apologizing and moves on. That doesn't help Jeff Harding, though, does it?
Harding came right back and said, that didn't bother me. I had 3 ahead. I'll give you one. I had not given him a round up to this point. I had 3 straight rounds for McCallum. And should this go on, this will give it an even round here.
Harding continues to come straight in, and he's getting punished. How about that right uppercut?
What a thing of beauty. A little right uppercut just landed right on the chin. There's another one right on the head. There's another.
Oh, what a right thrust by McCallum, and now he's airing it out. But very patient, very steady, waiting again for his moment of opportunity. Quick right hand by McCallum. That right so effective tonight.
Look, low blow. Another one. Look how fast he fires off when Jeff misses. When Harding comes in with these hard punches missing, he can expect almost immediate retaliation. Boy, that's fast.
And Harding with some head work there.
Harding trying to get in a shootout. Not been able to yet. This is as close as he's come.
And round 4 is in the books.
Stepping, keep turning, keep that jab working, putting those combinations together.
Yeah.
Don't stand in front of him. Move to the left, move to the right. Keep that left hand up.
All right.
Got to keep those punches up now.
Yeah.
You're borderline the trouble. I've been letting it go. You just got to stop.
Here comes that first warning. Let's see. This is really actually the second warning, and that was low, way below that silver lining you see on his trunks, no doubt about it. And here was the third, and he had no choice but to do it. 2 of them, a left and a right, and they were way below, way south of the board. He had no choice but to take one away. But since Mike McCallum won the round anyway. You give a point away to the other guy, and you end up with an even round.
Well, here in North Dakota, Ferdy, most of these punches administered by Mike McCallum have been in South Dakota. Round 5, scheduled for 12 for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship. It has been mostly Mike McCallum got a point deducted last round because of the low blows. And that has been the only way Harding has registered points. And again, pretty much the same pose by Jeff Harding, just straight in. Blocking those punches, though, by McCallum. McCallum, if you're just joining us, very effective with the right hand throughout. McCallum backpedaling 30, but doing most of the damage.
Yeah, he's backpedaling, but he's firing as he goes. And Harding is really getting into the thing now. He's pressing much harder. He's coming on a little bit stronger, and he's getting closer now. But every time he gets close, he gets powdered.
Exquisite uppercuts by Mike McCallum has been the story all night. Low blow by McCallum, but overlooked by Marty Dakin.
He's going to get hit low all fight long. When you punch to the body as often as he does, you almost expect to lose a round like that. But I don't know why Mike McCallum just then looked at the referee. Nothing happened to him.
Beautiful jab by McCallum. That's got to be so annoying.
Look at that move. He went one way, his body went the other, and he threw a punch.
He just does not fight like a man of 37, which by normal standards is very young, but in boxing standards, another story.
And he's been around a long time, and he's been in some very hard fights as Mike McCallum. I mean, he has fought quality all his life. They've put him in tough.
We were talking about that with McCallum in our meeting with him yesterday. He has been in some brutal wars. Turned pro back in 1981. He said one of his toughest fights was in Italy in '84 with Luigi Mancino as he retained the WBA junior middleweight title. He said that seemed to really weigh heavily on his mind. Been in there with McCrory, Donald Curry, Simbu Kalambe a couple of times. James Toney, of course, a couple of times. Great history. Mike McCallum lives in Brooklyn, New York. And really one of the nicest guys in the game of boxing as well. Pleasure to talk to him.
And corner work by maybe the nicest guy in boxing, maybe aside from Angelo Dundee. Eddie Futch, Papa Smurf, as Riddick Bowe calls him.
Eddie Futch, who used to train Virgil Hill, who will be in our main event from Bismarck against Frank Tate for the other light heavyweight championship, the WBA. Final seconds, round 5. Good right hand there by McCallum. Stuck one in here at the end of the round.
Again, the mastery of McCallum evident through this whole round.
Well, we mentioned the upcoming main event. Let's go backstage and into the dressing room live and take a look at Virgil Hill awaiting the defense of his WBA light heavyweight title. He grew up in Williston, North Dakota, about 250 miles west of where we are in Bismarck. Trained in Grand Forks, approximately 280 miles east of here. And he's had many of his big fights right here in the middle in Bismarck. Virgil Hill, who won his first WBA light heavyweight title at age 24, only his 19th pro fight. Major upset as he KO'd Leslie Stewart in the 4th round. And they've turned out in some pretty good numbers to see their idol, their hero, their pride and joy, Virgil Hill. That's upcoming later as he faces his old Olympic teammate, Frank Tate.
And let's listen in on the corners.
Okay.
As they say goodbye to their fighters. Right.
You're taking him apart the jab, Jeff. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Double jab. He's fat, Jeff. The jab. What?
Yes, but as you know, being in the corner for so many years with Muhammad Ali, those are long goodbyes.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, in spite of the score, Jeff Harding is in this fight all the way. I mean, he's not getting some kind of huge whipping that won't enable him to come back. He's right in the fight, and he's trying. Oh, hammering shot by McCallum, just as Harding has really put on the gas and throwing hard punches now. Now Harding is really after it. But he got hammered. That one good shot by McCallum neutralized the 1 or 2 little punches of Jeff Harding. Hard to score this fight for Harding. He's trying so hard. He's in there punching, but he's missing so much. The defense of Mike McCallum so superior, and the counter punching that doesn't allow Harding to punch with impunity. Every time he punches, he gets hit back.
McCallum, the body snatcher.
Look at that.
A name given to him by Tommy Hearns, used to be a sparring mate, but a guy who never actually got into the ring with him in a real fight, perhaps for good reason.
What an uppercut by Mike McCallum. Another one.
It's been working all night.
Well, he certainly has not figured out how to stop the uppercut.
Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard never fought McCallum either. And Jeff Harding, I think, is finding out why. Swing and a miss by Jeff Harding, who has really nothing behind those punches, even when he does connect. There's another low blow.
Another one on this side, but Dinkins is always on the other side. Marty Dinkins on the other side of the low blows. And I imagine he's got a great deal of relief, because it'd be awful to take another point away in a championship fight right now. That's close to just having taken a point away.
He took a point away a couple of rounds ago. We're now in round 6. But it is Mike McCallum dictating the tempo, controlling the pace throughout of this fight. Continues to pour it on.
Another crisp low punch, but that was right in front of Marty Dinkins.
Harding coming back, but McCallum with a fine answer, and he spins him around with a pawing left.
Look at the way this old man bends his body. You see, that's so good for a fighter. When he bends his body like that, you can't quite hit him. And no matter how old he is, he's still got the supple movements of a young man.
And he does it so casually, so calmly. Look at that shot. And a left hand by McCallum.
And another.
Doubles up on the left.
And another. Oh, boy, is he teeing off.
He's putting on a clinic. Good left hand. Countered by Jeff Harding, probably his best punch of the night.
Well, Harding said he's counting on his heart, and to come through at the last of the fight, boy, he's paying an awful price, a big ticket to get to the end.
As we head for the bell.
Oh, what an uppercut.
Put your hands on your leg. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Ready? Good at 2 seconds.
Yeah.
A lot of them are border lows. I don't want to take that other point away, but you got to keep it up. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Now watch the water.
All right. Keep ducking underneath.
Yeah.
Let's watch a master at work. When you see these replays, keep your eyes on the gloves of McCallum. They're always active. They're either blocking or they're throwing a counter punch. And when he sees an opening, the uppercut just flies. And that was an uppercut round because he just found a home for it. There it is. Just like that. Boy, that hurts. I mean, there's nothing there to stop it. It lands flush. That's a painful punch. And you don't know where you hurt it. Marty Dinkins went to McCallum's corner and said, they're borderline. I don't want to take away another punch, but you got to watch what you're doing.
Round 7 scheduled for 12, the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship. Mike McCallum, the challenger, but the 4-1 favorite, having his way and winning this fight against the champion Jeff Harding.
The uppercut, which does not stop. Ungentle rain that's falling on the jaw of poor Jeff Harding, who just keeps coming on. He's got a lot of heart, just as advertised.
They may call McCallum the body snatcher, but he has landed a good number of blows to the head. Very effective blow.
And has not stopped Jeff Harding from coming on to take more punishment. He just keeps coming on. Look how many times he missed just now. Finally lands a right hand, but how many times did Mike McCallum make him miss?
And then comes back with a flurry. Mike McCallum. Then a bit of a low blow. That time Dakin right there, but let it pass. Only Harding's 3rd fight in the U.S. Started fighting as a pro in Marrickville, which is the home of another great Australian champion, Jeff Fennick.
Look at that. He just saw him coming and ducked under time. Mouthpiece went out of Mike McCallum. He's got to wash it off.
Next time you lose, I'm going to take a point.
He just said next time you punch him off, we'll take a point.
He's already taken 1 point away from Mike McCallum. Just about the only way Harding is registering points.
Well, we never know what judges are watching, but
we're a long way from Las Vegas.
Yeah. Well, these are good judges from every different corner of the United States, and I just see that Mike McCallum is putting on a boxing clinic right now, punching him, counter-punching him, better defense, and the only thing you can give Jeff Harding is offense and guts. He's there to take the punishment.
McCallum showing everything in his repertoire. Look at that combination, head and body. And so active and busy. He just never lets up, relentless. Low blow by McCallum.
You know, I don't count those low. When they get into that gray area right there where that silver thing is, nah. But when it's below that and, you know, really low, then I think he'll take a point away.
Well, it's almost like a strike zone. Every umpire and referee has his own.
Marty Dinkins is a very experienced referee, and he uses good judgment. He's not going to take that point away unless it's a real blaster of blow.
What a beautiful defensive move by McCallum just a second ago to bob and weave away from that punch by Jeff Harding.
Well, Harding is getting closer to what he wants. He's getting very close in there, and he's getting it into an alley fight. So if old age creeps in here to our delayed rounds and Mike can't back up more, two low blows, then it may just be what Harding has been waiting for, because he sure is pushing this old man back.
Final seconds, round 7. Incidentally, the judges are Terry Smith of Sacramento, Rudy Ortega of San Francisco, and Tommy Kazmarek of Brick, New Jersey. And round 7 is history. Behind the scenes, into the dressing room of Frank Tate, the #1 contender for Virgil Hill's light heavyweight crown. The main event upcoming next. As an amateur, Tate, a member of the famed Kronk Gym in Detroit, turned pro in Houston with the Houston Boxing Association. Although a 1984 Olympic teammate of Hill's, the two were not what you'd call best buddies, each hanging out with different cliques on that sensational record-setting team. Tonight, Frank Tate looks to even the score in his rematch with Virgil Hill for the title. So here at the Civic Center in Bismarck, North Dakota, the fans turning out to see Virgil Hill and Frank Tate and this co-feature.
A jab by Jeff Harding dislodged the mouthpiece of Mike McCallum. That's the second time tonight, meaning that he's got his mouth open. He's puffing a little bit also, as Mike McCallum, as well he should, since he's been doing so much of the fighting.
And here we go into round number 9, scheduled for 12.
That last round was about the best that Jeff Harding has done in a while, because he did some good heavy punching in there. Even though he got punched back evenly, still he's where he wants. His punches are now growing in intensity. They were very soft and sort of measured at the beginning. Now he's letting go with good stuff. Is Jeff Harding, and backing up Mike McCallum, who continues to fight a fighting routine. Stepped on his foot. Did Jeff Harding, but not his bench.
Harding very much in jeopardy of losing his title tonight, the third defense of his second WBC light heavyweight belt.
It just looks like the younger man, Jeff Harding, is much stronger, physically stronger, and is willing to bull and push the guy back, push Mike McCallum back, and Mike, being an older man going back, is not easy. So it just could be that these last few rounds are going to get very interesting.
Again, Harding coming straight in, but even in retreat, Mike McCallum landed.
It's a boxing lesson up to now.
Oh, what a thumping punch to the midsection by the challenger, Mike McCallum, in the red. Harding's got to be so frustrated right now.
He came back with a good shot of his own. He's not quitting. He's, boy, landing in some good shots. They don't seem to bother McCallum at all. See, he gives you 4 or 5 shots and moves up. Look at that.
Big overhand right by Mike McCallum, followed up by left. Past the midway point of round 8.
Beautiful body movement, still bending his waist, still moving. Oh, look at that.
He dodged a bullet, then he came back with a shot to the upper chest area.
And for a guy his age, that was really reflexes. Look at that.
Combination by McCallum, toying now with the champion. Shots to the head. Final minute of round 8. 9.
Well, it's hard to see how they can give any of these rounds to Jeff Harding because of the boxing lesson that he has taken from Mike McCallum, who seems to have known intimately every punch that's ever been thrown in boxing, and he's using them all.
But Harding continues to show great courage and heart, just keeps coming straight in, despite the punishment being dished out by McCallum. Just like that. Right uppercut by McCallum. And it sends Harding's head back.
And I don't know how much of these uppercuts he can take. Jeff Harding has got a rock for a chin. Boy, he has been taking some blows. About the only good thing you can say about Harding right now, he hasn't cut. No, he is all marked up, though. His face is all puffy and red.
But not blood as of yet.
But no sign of a cut or even the beginning of a cut.
Just above us, the bell sound.
Great round. Okay, good work. Listen, get up, have a rest on him. All right? Remember, Slim? Hey, it's all right, it's good. Don't worry about your eye.
Your eye's good, Jeff.
Okay? Listen, if you let this bloke stand 3 foot off you, he's going to throw everything at you. That's what he's doing. You've got to get inside him, okay? Now, you know how to get inside him? What you did with Slim, remember?
Okay. Get some more water, Jeff.
Put your arms across, you walk up, and away you go.
Your jab's beautiful, Jeff.
Get some little uppercuts. He's falling apart, his arms are dropped, he's open for anything up the guts too. Okay, this bloke's an old man.
He's looking for a breather all the time.
Don't let him have a rest this round,
A bit more water,
okay?
Jeff.
If he starts going, give us an effort. Where's it?
Keep the jab going, Jeff. It's beautiful. It's working beautiful.
Now you got to go to work, baby. Now you own this.
It is round number 9. You hear the corner of Jeff Harding, Jim Brown, the chief trainer there. They're saying that his jab was beautiful. Get inside him. In between. They want to see more uppercuts from Jeff Harding because they feel that McCallum's arms are down and that the window of opportunity is there. What do you think about those remarks?
Oh, I think it's a fairy tale. They're just encouraging guys. They're telling you his jab is working beautiful. And he should say, yeah, then why is he hitting me immediately afterwards with right hands and killing me with uppercuts? I mean, somebody's doing something to him. The jab is not even bothering, nor is it landing much on Mike McCallum. But the good advice was to get in close, smother him so he can't get all those beautiful punches off. And that was good advice.
Well, that he's trying to do, as you can see. He's coming in with uppercuts, trying to get inside, trying to get underneath the arms of Mike McCallum, but doesn't seem to be getting anywhere with it.
Yeah, well, when he bends over to get underneath, he gets nailed with uppercuts, and that's why the uppercuts are landing with such force. He's trying to get under there, and that sets him up for the uppercut.
Now, the problem is McCallum has all the answers.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a real throwback.
There's so far been no further repetition of the low blows, and I think Mike sort of consciously has quit throwing much to the body because of the repeated warnings by Marty Dinkin.
McCallum's had 1 point deducted because of low blows. But he has dictated the tempo throughout. Mike McCallum, and he continues. Past midway, round 9.
Smarts, ring smarts just then. Looked like they were breaking off, and Mike fired off a shot. Mike McCallum landed right on the jaw of Jeff Harding.
And look at this, Mike McCallum at 37 here in round 9, showing no signs of fatigue. If anything, he's building up more steam as we progress on.
Mike has had a very physical fight here, and it's going to be interesting to see if all this bullying and pushing is going to wear him out in round 10, 11, and 12, because up to this point, he's not shown much signs of weariness. He's still punching with a great deal of authority, and must say he's landing 2, 3 punches to 1. Here comes Jeff trying hard to get in there, cause some punishment.
Well, that's what has to be going through the mind 30 of the champion, Jeff Harding, who continues to get pummeled. Oh, look at these shots by Mike McCallum.
And back comes Jeff Harding. What a heart on Harding, like all Australian fighters. These guys don't know how to quit. They just keep coming.
Jeff Harding, who has to be in pain. He has taken some shots to the head and the body. Here comes the bell.
Take a deep breath. Give me a deep breath. Okay. Give me one more.
Hold it. One more deep breath and hold it. Now let it go. Okay. Now, Mike, when you go down underneath, when you come up, don't step straight back. Step off to the side. See? Step off to the side.
All right.
You lose it when you go down underneath.
All right.
But when you straighten up, you right into his punch. Step off to the side, one way or the other.
All right.
When you come out of those mouthpieces, you're doing fine, all right?
Okay, Mike, when you come out of those clinches, don't come straight. Get this hand up in here where you take those punches as you come out, okay?
Let's watch some more of that action. Clean shot by Mike. Falls back, uppercut by Mike. See how Mike keeps his eyes right on him? Like just measuring, just saying, okay, now this is going to land, that's going to land, and throws it. Wonderful. Good advice. Those are the cardinals of boxing, the cardinal rules that Eddie Fudge is saying. Don't back up after you throw those punches to one side or the other. Now, you can hear that whether you hear it in the amateurs or whether you can hear it in the championship fight. That's what a cornerman always says. Go off to the side. Don't go back straight.
So much experience in that corner. Eddie Fudge, Hedgeman Lewis, former terrific fighter in his own right. Phil Torrance on cuts.
Hedgeman Lewis is a great welterweight. We fought him with Montequianapolis in Mexico City. He was Ryan O'Neal's fighter, and he brought little Tatum O'Neal to see him. Poor Tatum. Well, that was her hero. What a shellacking he had that night. I think he still is Tatum O'Neal's hero.
As we move on to round 10 here in Bismarck, not only the home of Virgil Hill, who's upcoming, but the historic home of Custer's last house, as opposed to Custer's last stand. This could be Harding's last stand here if he doesn't get it together soon, as he has been controlled by the challenger.
Well, I see a point spread here that's so big that Harding is going to have to get a knockout to win, unless I'm badly mistaken. Mike McCallum is way ahead, and I think what we're seeing is a lot of the effects of that layoff. I mean, he just can't get it together. He can't punch together. He is fighting a master boxer, but he looks sluggish. He looks like he hasn't got the reflexes that he used to have. So it could be he should have fought a little tune-up fight before this one, and maybe this is a mistake to just step in with one of the best fighters fighting today.
Hold it, you're tied up, get out.
Jeff Harding, who has not fought in 19 months since December 3rd, 1992, because of an assortment of problems, cut problems, traveling problems, logistic problems, just a lot of bureaucracy and red tape has held him back. Those from his manager, Paul Hutz.
Well, we mentioned that Harding needs a knockout, but the depressing fact is that McCallum has never lost by knockout. He's lost by decision, never by knockout. So it's a daunting task ahead of Jeff Harding. He's trying as hard as he can, but not able to match the superiority of Mike McCallum.
McCallum's last loss came in 1992 to James Toney. His first loss, Sumbo Kalambe, in 1988. He's 46-2-1, 35 knockouts, two-time world champion. Looking for his third world championship tonight against Jeff Harding. And on the road.
And Mike McCallum, for the first time, his mouth is wide open. He's gasping, as well he should. It's the 10th round of a very aggressive and strong fight from Jeff Harding's mauling and pushing. It's almost a rugby scrimmage here. It's almost a football game the way he's playing it.
Australian rules football. Final seconds, round 10.
Okay? You're doing it. You're doing it. You're safe. 2 to go, okay? Now all the screaming we've done down New Orleans, let's bring it home, okay? You can throw your hands up all you like. Come on.
Well, Jim.
Yeah, you're doing it good, mate. You're doing it good.
Your jab's beautiful, Jeff. Your jab's working beautiful.
It's safe, isn't it? It's safe. You're backing up with the jab.
Okay?
Yeah, they're good, mate. They're holding
He's got to catch up, not you.
Yeah.
Please, Jeff, just play safe. Tuck in and just work off your jab, mate.
If you get in and clinch, don't fight out of it. I'll get you out of it. Okay, so you get in.
Those 2 rounds.
Pull back.
Yeah, suck it up.
Pull back.
Suck it up.
Keep on moving. Watch your holder now, Mike. Okay? Doing fine. Watch your holder.
Okay, Mike, give me one more round like that, okay, baby? Yeah. One round at a time. Yeah. Okay.
Marty Dakin, an old pro like Mike McCallum, are setting the ground rules as we enter the so-called championship rounds, round number 11. Watch the holding to Mike McCallum and sort of soothing Jeff Harding by saying, don't clinch, I'll get you out of there.
And that one voice keeps saying that jab is working great. Keep doing it. I just don't see that the jab is working so great for Jeff Harding. Somebody should write different dialogue like that.
As they say, I don't know what fight they're watching.
Well, there is a jab going good, but it's not his.
Well, I think we should. Oh, look at the shots, all with the left. The triple left hand by McCallum. Impressive.
It's not nice.
And McCallum continues to build steam, even though we're in the 11th round. And I mentioned, I think it's important to reiterate, ready to go the distance. Mike McCallum, despite his years, he's gone the full distance 5 of his last 6, 7 of his last 9. So it means nothing to him.
And we must note again, ever since that warning storm by the referee, taking a point away by Marty Dakin, suddenly he changed his game plan, did Mike McCallum, and began going to the head and abandoned the body, which is unusual for him. I mean, he doesn't give it up. But he'd done his work. He'd done what he wanted to do, and now he's building up the points with these flashy combinations that are bouncing off the hapless Jeff Harding's glove.
And I'm sure Jeff Harding is soothed to no end to know that McCallum's going to his head now rather than his midsection. Either way,
Harding just landed a good series there. Seemed to stop Mike McCallum in his tracks. But he just doesn't have enough. He'll be 2 or 3 good punches, and then he gets 4 or 5 back. There we go. Just when we stopped talking about body shots, he's landed 3 straight ones.
The clinic continues by the challenger, Mike McCallum.
Watch your head, he said. And he was right. That head has been there all night long. Mike McCallum puts his head in such a subtle way you don't hardly see it.
Uppercut by McCallum, who's having a field day here, just bouncing punches off the head of Jeff Harding.
Let it go, Mike.
It's like target practice. Now he goes back to the body, living up to his nickname, Mike McCallum. Less than 30 seconds in round 11.
Well, it's a pleasure to see a guy that has mastery of all forms of boxing as Mike McCallum has, and I think I've seen fighting since the 40s and 50s. He could have been in there with anybody. I mean, he is a warrior from the old throwback to the old days.
He's classy and classic. He near flawless. He just doesn't make mistakes. Big smile from McCallum as he heads back to his corner for the final round. There's Jeff Fenech in the corner, trying to check things out. 3-time world champion.
Come on, Jeff, last round. He's tired. Walk through him.
You can hear him.
First, Jeff. Be first with the jab.
Trying to urge on Harding.
Come on, you're safe. Don't let him stand off. You see him get set. If he's back and back, jump on him. If you let him come forward, he's going to hit you. If you let him stay still, if you let him stay on you, he's going to hit you. Okay? Okay?
Yeah. Jeff's working beautiful.
Righto. So we want it home. We want to come home safe, okay?
Okay.
All right?
Hey,
listen.
Sweet, mate.
Sweet, okay. No stupid stuff. No silly right hands.
All the time. Looking for him to
my head up. Where my head up, Ed? Where my head up? Where my head up?
Yeah,
my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're approaching round number 12. The final round of this night. This year, in the center of the ring.
There's the bell signaling the beginning of round 12. They'll come in and touch gloves. The crowd responding. And here we go. So the pleas of countryman Jeff Fenech to the ears of Jeff Harding, but I'm afraid he's going to need more than Fenech in his corner if he has any ideas of escaping and stealing this victory. He's going to need a knockout.
A nice two-handed attack to the body, and then here comes Mike McCallum back to even it out. it's just discouraging. Just when you look like you got something going, McCallum comes back and multiplies the punches. You hit him twice, he hits him 4 or 5 times back. Nice jab that time. Now that was the first good series of jabs he's thrown in the entire night. I think McCallum is getting tired and weary. And not as sharp as he was because he's getting hit by a jab. A little late in the game.
Harding with that 19-month layoff. You have to wonder about the effects of that. You saw that right by McCallum once again.
This crowd groans every time that right hand lands because it's so clear.
Good crisp right by Harding.
He's doing much better. This is a 15-round fight. He'd have some kind of a chance, but it's not. It's the 12th. It's the final round.
Maybe we get a quick rule change here.
Yeah, Mike McCallum is in command.
There's a long right, a full extension right uppercut by McCallum, and that made contact.
Look at that. He's still bending over. You can see, for a while, as we saw Chavez go downhill, Chavez wasn't bending at all. And here's this old guy bending just like he was a young kid.
Well, Mike McCallum has seemingly found the fountain of youth. He might be beyond 40.
Well, that's why he's got an 80-some-odd-year-old guy in the corner.
They can relate.
It's discouraging to be in the corner and you're the oldest guy in the corner. I mean, yes, he's got to get a guy that's older than him in the corner.
It's tough.
I mean, tough to come back and listen to a kid tell you how to fight.
Mike McCallum, who came awfully close to being a 3-time world champion for James Toney to withdraw, he might be on the threshold of his 3rd world title here in 40 seconds.
Well, if not, there's something wrong in North Dakota because this has been a boxing lesson by Mike McCallum. Harding doing very respectful right now, very well, trying as hard as he can to pull it out, but he's not doing it. He's fighting against a guy who's not used or will not accept getting knocked out. He just won't go.
Harding trying to apply some pressure here in the final seconds, but it's too little too late. 5 seconds left in the fight, and Mike McCallum is just a few seconds away from his 3rd world title.
Well, nice action fight for this crowd and set the pace for the evening. I hope the fight that follows has half that much action in it. And I really have him ahead by almost 6 points, 117, 111. I have Mike McCallum ahead, and we'll soon see what the judges have it. You know, sometimes you get to watching a guy doing as well as he's doing, and the rounds fly by. You can't find one to give to Jeff Harding. 117, 111, and I think we have a new champion.
So there's Jeff Harding and Mike McCallum, arm in arm. McCallum, fighting pro since 1981. At 37, may finally get the attention and recognition that he so deserves by winning a championship in his 3rd different weight class. Just a great story with he and Eddie Futch combining their wealth of experience and knowledge. The Jamaican-born Brooklyn resident Mike McCallum, winning titles at 154 and 160, now looking for 175, and looking to dethrone Jeff Harding for the WBC light heavyweight title. And what a nice gift for the classy Eddie Futch, who would add yet another world title notch to his belt. Apply the ice to Jeff Harding. And all smiles and laughs in the corner of Mike McCallum. There's the venerable Eddie Futch right behind Mike. So we're awaiting the decision.
I need some of them vitamins, man.
Let's go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Rudy Ortega, scores at 116-114. Tommy Kazmarek scores at 116-113. Terry Smith scores about 117-113. All three in favor of the winner and new champion, Mike, the Body Snatcher McCallum.
Crowd goes wild. And Mike McCallum, well, you can throw that interim label right out the window. He is now the WBC light heavyweight champion, his 3rd world title.